In my haste, I have completely neglected to turn on all of the software, so you're going to have to excuse me for like 2 minutes while I get everything sorted out. First fight is going to be Kisau versus Darcy. I am a very, very tired ender. So, we'll see how it goes today. I've been doing manual labour. Shocking, I know. I touched grass, chat. It's terrible. I don't know what's going on in my life. Hang on a second, this will take like 2 minutes. Where is it? Format, dual. Here, just let those both as 0. Give me 2 seconds. You now get to see the behind the scenes of me trying desperately to make sure everything works. And it's still refusing to work sometimes. It's epic. Tallies. Yes, refresh that. Refresh all of these. There's probably a way to do this automatically. But it is... that would require effort. Okay. Hey, look, it's working. What? Huh? I'm so confused. What's up, everyone? Mixing mulch with roasted almonds to see if people get that. Well, it was actually mulching is what we were at. It was pretty epic. Very epic. Now, why is it only showing one person? HP's left. Tally's right. Huh? Nice, it's still not working. What is going on? Let me see if I pick myself. No. Oh, that would explain it. Alright, there we go. We fixed it. So the first up is going to be Darcy versus Kisau. Rounds happen all at once. Sorry for being late. Yeah, no worries, Kisau. I signed you. Yeah, no worries. I need some greases real quick. No worries. Darcy's not in World either. Now, hopefully I've done everything right here. Yeah, just take your time, Kisau. The world is open. I've pinged you in the show match section, so you'll be able to see it. At least I hope I have. Yep, you should be fine. You should be able to see it and everything. Alright, let me just add all of the players. Oh, Jesus. At Fight Night. Fight Night round has started. GG's, GL, and HF all X D. There we are. Benevolence, yep. So we should be good to go. Ike up. Rarely see this map in tourney. Well, that's why I use it. I use a bunch of different maps. I like to pick a different map every week and just stick to it. Technically speaking, you can pick any map you want. I gotta hop out for a bit. I hate you, Cheese. You were here to make me feel happy and warm. ICUP! You're so fucking funny, dude. Holy shit. That's epic. Wait, is that... Huh? Why is it doing it that way? Here, you get to look up my Nellis cosplay build. It's going to be epic. At Darcy. Where's Darcy? It is indeed epic. Truly extraordinary. YouTube chat is going to be very confused because they can't read any of this. I should put a chat bar in the middle. In between the other two. I'll try my best to make sure that I read out what the actual messages are, especially given that we're currently a little bit late. Garant is currently playing Mortal Shell. I hope he's actually here. Forever doomed to be ignored. YouTube chat doesn't get rights. That's unfortunate. Let me make sure that the world is open. Should be open here. Yeah, world is open. Let me see. Oh, she's on her way. Top preview. No, that is not right. Didn't even see that. What didn't you even see, Blue Nectara? If he doesn't, then you'll get a buy round. I'm so confused. Well, that's not cool. He was in last week. There was a joke that last week I had forgotten to actually add him in. Because he had pinged me in between about 5 other pings on the Discord and I just didn't see it. But yeah, we'll just wait for Darcy and Kisau to get him world, and then we'll be good to go. I cannot spell. World open. There we go. I did it. Alright, that's Kisau, who's going to be on... Oh no, that's Darcy. There we go. Darcy's in blue. Kisau is in red. There we go. Oh no, that's actually the other way around. Oh dear. There we go. There we go. Now we got it. We're waking up. There we go. Now, nice. Alright, we can take a look at builds and shenanigans and general tomfoolery. Let's take a peek. We have Kisau rocking the two-handed Mangouche. Mangouche? The parrying dagger. That's the one. It's pretty neat. Pretty cool. Pretty epic. Then Darcy is going to be rocking the good old-fashioned all of my slots are to be filled in the weaponry. That is just how it works. We have a Gogs, we have a Beast Claw, we have a Misery Cord. Hey. And then we have the Danes. The epic Danes. And look at this here, we are going to see the fist bumping. Fist bumping in action. Fist bump. They're fist bumping. They're so epic. Look. Let's get a close in. Let's get a close in on the fist bumping. I'm sure they'll figure it out. What did we ever decide the particular name for that walk was again? What did we decide it was? Because I remember that we were calling it, what was scoliosis tech for a while, which I'm not sure we can really say, but either way, the poop walk. Is this a meme tourney? No, we're just taking some time. Yesterday's was a meme tourney. Last week, sorry, was a meme tourney. Alright, it's first to 2. I'm just very tired. So trying desperately to catch up on everything I should have otherwise done. There we go. Oceanic Maniac. There we go. First to 2. Round 1. On a 3, 2, 1. Allay! And there we have it. We are going to see the physics from both of our players. We do look at now. Darcy going for that nice little bit of Divine Frost Stomp. But I will say, having fought that two-handed parrying dagger, it has quite a considerable amount of range. And against the Gogs here, it's going to have a really good time, simply for the fact that it's an unreactable standing R1. Very little it can actually do. Uh-oh. But Darcy is... I don't think there's anyone who quite plays like her. So if there's anyone who can take down the dagger, it's going to be Darcy. And we do see that jump R2 coming out there trying to punish the hyper armor. Good, because it's a guaranteed break. Kisau moving in for those run R1s into R2s. From talking to other people who've messed around with that particular dagger, they've said that the block cancel is a little bit funky, but look at that. Some really nice free aims there from the side of Darcy. Trying to change up those timings a little bit as Kisau is just going to eat that standing R1 to the face. As another standing R2, standing R1s come out there. Jump R2 comes out over the top. Darcy is on death's door against a dagger, which is never good. Into a running R1, which is going to be Kisau taking the first round. A G? Jeez, I don't believe it. They actually did it. It looks like the good old days of Corvian Great Knife. It's a little bit different because Corvian couldn't really trade. Dagger can do substantial amounts of damage, out in the wild especially, given that it has access to the two-handed talisman as well. Out in the wild it can definitely afford to trade a little bit more, along with pierce damage generally been pretty goofy silly, haha. But either way, both players are in and clearly rearing to go, wibbling around, wobbling even. The wibblers and the wobblers of Elden Ring PvP. Endo, what do you think of Fire Knight Short Sword? I actually think it's alright. I think it's cool. I like Earth Steel a little bit better just because it's more aesthetically pleasing to me. And they're both functionally the same thing. And faith damage is a little bit better than some other stuff, but I don't know, I haven't compared them. I haven't used the Fire Knight Short Sword, sorry. Ooh, nice. They're going for those R2s. Into the spin slash. Tries to go for the follow-up, but elects not to. Interdasting. GR1 on the side there. The side here is going to be a little bit better, but unfortunately it doesn't really deal with the fact that the dagger has pretty much zero recovery. Back onto the gugs again. Wibbling around in neutral here, managing to catch Kisau, managing to hit him, give him a crack across the jaw. No harm. Probably deserved it. Goes for the jump attack there. We do see that attempt to trade in there from the side of Darcy. The one hand is going to come out there with the follow-up L1s on the Danes, but alas, it's not to be. Darcy now going to be skedaddling about trying to force these trades if at all possible. The lat here is going to be quite bad as well, which is another mark in favour of the daggers. Another trade comes through into that Danes. Goes for that CR1, but it's going to be a 2-0 sweep. Unfortunate bestie. That is going to be Kisau taking it in 2-0. 2 for Kisau. Nihil for Darcy. GG's. Yeah, the dagger is actually pretty deceptive. It has a very distinct hitbox from the Misery Chord, so you don't have the same issues as you do with other stuff. Let me just check in with everyone here as Garant. Alright. Where's Garant? Hello? 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 I've sent him a message, Blue. I've just messaged him. The first round is going to be a buy round for you, by the looks of things. Ripper. Let me just check now that my... Did I actually mess up the times? 80 minutes ago. No, the times are all correct. So, just a buy round for Blue. So, Blue Noctara gets a buy round. So good scores. Alright, round 2. Ooh. Let's get, for round 2, let's go Blue Noctara versus Liam. Alright. Has anyone tried regular short sword after the R2 buff? I haven't actually used it yet. Alright, cool. So that's one kerfuffle out of the way. Rightio. So, Blue, you got a buy round there. So we're going to go... Why have I lost my Discord? There we go. Magnificent. It's like Misery, but it sucks because it's way slower. Ooh, okay. Alright, Ash, Blue... Ash. Alright. Nito Dorito. Okay. So it's going to be Blue versus Liam. I haven't seen Blue play in a while, so we'll be curious. Kinda a rough match to start, given that Liam has been using some shenanigans. Although we'll see if the removal of Sword of Light buff with Holy Tear is sufficient. I don't think it will be. I don't even think he was using it last time, although it depends what he's cooking this time. I'm rusty as hell. Well, you're going up against a player who's been winning most of these the last few weeks. So... that's something to keep in mind. Does the water... No, there's no actual water effects in this arena. It's all purely... It's all purely... what's the word? It's window dressing. There's another word for it. Oh, God. Oh dear. Help. Someone help. Aesthetic. There we go. It's all aesthetics. There's there's nothing. Now, who's who? So Blue is on that side. Liam is on that side. Nice. Cosmetic. There we go. Yes. Thank you. Cosmetic. Yep, there we go. Y'all are amazing. I'll have to adjust my level real quick. Yeah, we're 125, remember. I prefer 125 over 164. Because I prefer bubble tier and I don't want fights to last 15 years. Even if people run away with tier, I actually prefer that. I think that makes for very interesting... It makes for an interesting dynamic flow state to the fight. From my perspective, it does anyway. Same with the blue-red Blessed Dew. There's like different stages of the fight that are very easy to kind of like mark around. Also, the tech around popping your own tier and stuff like that I find quite interesting. Bloody Slash and stuff like that gets actual really good use case. Or even poop pots, hilarious enough to get a self-proc of poison, are actually pretty useful. There's like a bunch of things that I prefer around 125 of bubble tier. Not least because because 125 is where players still kind of rotate around. I do quite like this arena. I think it looks quite pretty. You two get a room. Jesus. The VIPs and the swords. This arena is very pretty. I wonder who made it. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder, Jack. Some nerd, probably. Don't forget your rune arc, Blue. Yeah, Blue rune arc? Okay, there we go. We're good. Alright then, ladies and gentlemen. We have our first wave. Both players are ready. Just take a quick peek at the builds. Blue Noctera on that Hall Axe. Beautiful. 58 strength, 38 endurance, 60 vig. 60 vig. Lots of cool stuff. 59 faith here on the side of Liam. All goob. All pretty standard fare. Ladies and gents. On a 3, on a 2, on a 1. LA. Kaboom, kabam, kaplowy. A little bit of a delay there in getting the physics out. Bit of a late punish there with the BR. As we do see those jumps come through here. Goes for that running attack, managing to get the anti-air. All facts there going in. With that halberd standing R1 just to try and catch the CR1 there. Another CR1 trying to anti-air, but no dice. Oh, managing to get that catch though. Liam 1863 to 1734 here on the side of blue. Both sides. Liam electing to go for a kind of an interesting pick there, going for the trying to maximize the damage on top of having like an insane amount of stamina. That's kind of a curious. We do see that roll out there once more. Liam managing to get a little bit of utility off of that Godskin. Neither side having blue Blessed Dew on, which is legal in the rule set. So that may cost them, although they seem to be going for enough HP regeneration in the form of the Godskin Swaddling Cloth. That is a very difficult word to say fast. Because she sells seashells by the seashore. Dear God. Alright, we are going to see that nice toggle there coming out there with a nice little bit of extra HP. We do see Blue Noctera now without tier. Liam with a fairly substantial tier lead now so far as well. Managing to get the catch there, but that's going to be the tier procced. We're not going to see the waiting out of it here by the side of Blue Noctera, who is going to be jumped. Almost caught with that R2. And that is going to be a Liam taking it 1-0 so far. Very nice. Very nice. There we go. Right here. He did the thing. She's a mod, but she's a bad influence. What did I miss? I would have said something here so bad, but I can't. Is it, are you doji posting, Cheese? Is that what you're doing? I really hope you're not. Nicely done. Alright, we have both players in. Ladies and gents, on a 3, on a 2, on a 1. With the honor bows. That's powerful. And we finally see that nice punish there on the Sword of Light. But the buff, unfortunately, in Michael Zaki's infinite wisdom, still goes off, even if you punish it. The off axe there into that standing R1, managing to get it, goes for a little bit of a desync run R1. There's the side of Blue Noctera, who's going to be toggled on. Interesting. We do see a run R1 come out. Looking at that there, the roll in. Trying to go for a little bit of a mash there, but you cannot mash against this. Dear God, no. Not in a million years, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why. Let's look at the stats again. It is going to be that double coated with the Sword of Light buff. It is powerful. That thing, as we would say in the business, shits damage. Absolutely shits damage. It is insane. Okay, what was sent? Hang on a second. Mood! I think I shouldn't ban, sorry, we need Liam as a raid boss to teach tourney every week. I don't know if it's imba. We'd have to see. Yeah, actually tearing me apart. It's pretty bad. Ignore that. Dear God, I'm glad you did not send that on my chat. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Pressing into everything? Yeah, especially with the jumpers. I don't know. I'd have to wait more time to see how I feel about it. I've banned the it's used in conjunction with the holy shroud, holy cracked shroud tier, the one that buffs holy damage, just to see if it reins it in a little bit. But I have no idea. But yeah, let's log the scores, which they've already been logged. Very good, gentlemen. Very good. Nicely done. So now we're just waiting on Conquer versus Kisau and Garant versus Pancake. There's a couple of choices here, and there's a couple of nice players. It's a quite weak holy shrouding correct tier. Thank you. The funny one. But yeah, it's interesting. It's nice. It's honestly nice to see piss being used again. To be honest with you, and we haven't seen much counter picking against it really. Although it's absolutely vicious in these smaller sets. I think consecutive hit buffs always carry power stance setups. Funny enough, you say that. People actually went away from using the multi-hit tallies, apart from Godskin. People more buff defenses and stuff like that. I have PTSD against codeds. I used to always mold back in the good old days of pre-110 of going halberd fighting into PSSS and just finding it one of the most frustrating things that they did so much damage. But now I kind of get it a little bit more. I have evened out in my old age, chat. Evened out in my old age. 59 Faith, he's trying to maximize damage Oceanic. That's basically what he's trying to do. If he can maximize the amount of damage he has, then he's going to do pretty okay. Also, I need to remember to stay on the restream chat, because otherwise I can't read YouTube's, and it sucks. Because y'all are cuties. Every single one of you. We're still waiting on this round to finish. Conquer versus Kisau. Let me just take a peek and see what they're at. Should be over. I hate YouTube chat. Wow. Wow. Swaddling Cloth is probably the best pick of them. You can get a double buff for like certain nuclear setups. But to be honest with you, isn't it like 2 extra AR? Yeah, but that 2 extra AR is going to be calculated with the Holy Shrouding tier and other stuff. So it actually adds up to quite a lot. I forget what the exact damage difference is between them. I know on Thrusting Sword, a counter hit with all of that buff is like an extra like 40 or 50 damage, which matters a lot in these tryhard duels. It might not seem like much, but it just further means you can't mash into it. Banning Jack for bigotry against YouTube chat. And them swords. As mods always do, standing up for their homies. That's crazy. That's crazy. Truly, a tragedy of the commons. I got friends in high places. You unfortunately do. Let's check and see if the matches have finished up yet. No, we're still waiting on Kisau versus Conquer. So they should be done shortly. I'm scared for the rest of my life. Yeah, Sasso's PSGS is nasty. I keep trying to space the jump R1s and just getting punished for it. It's ego spacing is the death of me. It's 16 more AR, fair enough. And again, keep in mind with the 20% buff and the damage calculation in general, that's going to be substantial. Like I forget the equation off the top of my head, but it's a random garbled of numbers. I only laddered Space once. Oh, Space is a fucking beast. I fought his katana there a while back, and that was absolutely vicious. Dude's a creature. Of the old guard that's left, he's probably one of my favorite players. Space Wangel. Can we get some highlight message Space Rangers in chat in honor of the GOAT? Yeah, I'm very fond of Space. Absolute demon. Alright, let's take a look here. So it's we're going to pick Conquer versus Pancake. Rightio. Let me pick the right chat. Let me ping the right people. Conquer and Pancake. There we go. Alright. The no losers bracket player. Back then was always used to be Eli who to fight against. Yeah. Eli's another person who I haven't fought in a while. Vici versus... I probably woefully mispronounced that. Versus Pancakes. With love. Two-handed lances you cutely. I think is generally how it goes. Yeah. All of the enders in my Discord are now confusing me. I got jump scared by someone pinging end of the Noctara, a password. And I was like, wait, what? What's happened? Huh? 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 Alright, this is round 3. I should probably actually change the rounds. Well, wave 3. Should be wave 3, yeah. Nope, that is not what I'm after. There we go. Wowzers, we did it. Magical Pancake. Oakley dokley. And they actually picked the right sides. That's fucking insane. Holy sheesh! I've almost opted to just ping anyone that had ended in their name. That's understandable. But either way, let's take a quick peek at the builds while they are, we should take an enter roll. If you want to do it, Darcy, go for it. That would be pretty funny. But either way, we do have Conquer, who's going to be on that 60 vigor, 42 end, 49 strength, on the two-handed cat. It's a cat, lads, it's a cat fight. It's a cat fight. One strength in the difference. Both sides pretty much optimal here. You'd have to change your name, maybe? Nah. End of the forever. Alright. We do have both of our players in. Ready to go. On a 3. On a 2. On a 1. Away! As they drink... Jump R1 comes out over the top. Don't you know it, V? Goes to their run R2. Crouch attacks come through. Jump over the top there. Standing R1. Uh-oh. We do see that. Managed to land here. Both sides within about 300 HP of each other. Not a big lead for Conquer, as I say that, as he manages to get some really nice damage out. Good rollouts there from the side of Conquer. Jump R2 comes out over the top. Standing R1 into the run R2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nice little bit of a trade there. The spin slash. Spin to win. run R2s there, which are really, really useful on this. Moveset, standing R1, goes for another run R2 into that little bit of a trade attempt there, but the backswing is going to be tanked. One of the neat things about having no poise restrictions is that people can wear pretty optimal armor without having to fiddle around looking for bull goats in case they need it. But the spin slash comes out. Good rollouts coming out now into a spin slash. I believe that was Pancakes taking the W there. Very nicely done. That's no small feat. Well done, Pancakes. I do love Pancakes. Really fun fight. I've been playing him a bunch on ladder at the moment. Lovely feller. Also, if one of the mods could ping... Actually, no, I can do it now while we wait. There we go. Now people can see. Well, hey, epic. That's so epic. Alright, ladies and gents. On a 3. On a 2. On a 1. LA. Pancakes taking the first round there pretty solidly. Looking at it here, we do see that jump R1 coming out of the top there. It's the run R2. Conquer. Looking for an opportunity to get in. Run R1 is going to get the anti into that backstab. How did he land it? He 110% planned it into the poop pot. Could have gone for the rot one here. I'm not sure why he didn't. Into a spin slash there, catching Pancake in the corner. Into a staggered R1 coming out there just to try and get that extra little bit. Very nice. V nice. Empty jumps there coming out now. Run R2 comes out there into this run R1. That is the tier now gone. Aim down there just to try and get that extra little bit of range. Jump R1 comes out there in the spin slash. Beautiful spacing here from the side of Pancake though. Immediately moving in there, that nice little bit of pressure. Goes that running attack. Look at that, the CR1's coming out now. Jump R1 over the top there. Conquer going for that. CR1. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Conquer is not out of it yet. Both tiers now gone, and I cry every time. We see that swap over from the side of Conquer, I believe, onto Blue Feather, which has, for whatever reason, not gone through, but it's not going to matter. Because that is going to be Pancake, taking it in a 2-0 sweep. My God, Pancake, you beast! Beast of a man, but with love. Really, really nice stuff. That's I consider that a little bit of an upset even. 2-0 in the favour of Pancakes. Good fight. Pancake brought the butter and syrup today. Alright, this is a very serious question, chat. This is incredibly serious. I want your thinking hats on. What are we thinking? Golden syrup or maple syrup? Go. Or Nutella? Nutella on Pancakes is actually really nice. But I gotta say myself, not to skew the results, maple syrup is pretty epic. Pretty epic, if I dare say. IMO. TBH. Yuzu syrup. Well, but which syrup? Golden or maple syrup? I don't know what golden syrup actually is. I should probably look that up. Golden syrup. What's it come from? It's a sugar syrup. Sugarcane. Or sugar beet into juice into sugar is used in a variety of baking. Oh, it's just pure sugar. Excellent. Maple. Golden is too sweet? Yeah, but you only put a small amount on, right? But yeah, I've never had golden syrup. It's very nice on pancakes. While I do like Nutella on my pancakes, I generally prefer my maple syrup, personally. With no flavor at all? Really? Just straight out of the pan? Alright, that might be a little bit strange. But, like, you can put, like... When's my birthday? 9th of August. Because I'm Leo, the lion. Get it? Get it? Get it? Is it all becoming clear now? Ha 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 ha. I hate you, thanks. I remember, as a very small child, we made myself and a babysitter made fucking pancakes. And unfortunately, they didn't check at the time whether or not it was self-raising flour or not. And the look of abject horror on both of our faces when we realized we had literally made pancakes as opposed to pancakes. It was a shocking state of affairs, forever burnt into my mind. A cautionary tale. Then you'll be old, Suwu. Old, I tells ya. One foot in the fucking grave. Won't be long now. The 22-year-old MILF. That's a lot to unpack there, love. I'm sorry. What's up, Kiwi? You came in at just the right time, bestie. You see, Darcy, the tech is... I give people mods so the other mods can't ban them. Only Suwu is allowed to be this unhinged, chat. So fast, I think 22 is 25. Oh, your chat is always the best, I'm aware. It's definitely something. We're still waiting on the Liam versus Kisau match to finish up. Unfortunate. Damn. The mod off. Chat, the swords are fighting. It's Jover. I'm nearly 30, lads. It's Jover. It's Jover. For better and worse. Alright, let's see. We should be getting to the end of this one. I can't. I think it was like 2013 or 2014 when I picked up Souls. I definitely played before Dark Souls 2 Scholar came out, but I can't remember exactly when it was. Because I first played Dark Souls 1 just after. So the story goes, I bought it for a cousin's birthday, and he was playing. We were watching him play it on his Xbox at his party, and I apologized to him because the game looked fucking garbage. But a year or two after it, I can't remember when, a friend of mine finally sat me down and forced me to fucking play it. And the results, I will never forgive him. I got DS1 Remastered and played it. Yeah, it's fun. In a very janky way. I like the first Souls. Ah, dude, I had to buy the game twice. The disc I got it on, I accidentally scratched off the code because it didn't have like a booklet. It was like a code on the back of the box. For whatever reason, I scratched it off. So I had to buy it on Steam. Again, played 20 hours of it, said this is absolute garbage. Absolute garbage, and then dropped it. And I only played again recently. Had someone not handed me the mule for PvP, I would have never given the PvP a shot. That PvE is ass. Absolute ass. So not only did I buy a game twice, but I fucking hated the PvE. Oh no, I really dislike Dark Souls 2 and Elden Ring's PvE. I actually despise. You couldn't pay me to play them. I'm still waiting, Liam QE. It supports the Elden Ring as DS2 2 theory. So here's a very, very funny one. I am on the general, I'm generally of the opinion that whatever people compare Elden Ring to whatever Souls game they hate. Because until I played 2, I compared it to 2, and then I played the actual PvP of Dark Souls 2 a fair bit. And it couldn't be any more fucking different. I was woefully incorrect. It's not like DS1's PvP. It's not like 3's. I consider the closest being Bloodborne, just in terms of its gameplay loop. Schmicks the video game, pretty much. But a game where you very much have to earn the schmicks. It has to be permitted. You have to be permitted to schmicks people up. Alright, we're still waiting for the Liam Kisau match. I imagine what's happening here is that Kiwi is waiting out the Sword of Light buff. I'm punishing the cast of it. Armored Core is my favourite Souls. It's not that far removed, surely. I don't know, I never played an Armored Core game. I couldn't tell you the first thing about them. Yeah, we're just waiting for this last match to finish up. We shouldn't be too much longer. I imagine Kisau is just playing it super patient. Or they're having trouble logging score. Or it's a giga close match, one or the other. In which case, unfortunately, we didn't watch that one. So who have we actually seen? We've seen Darcy and Kisau, Liam and Blue, Pancake and Conquer. So now it's Camp Spiel and Garant are the only two we haven't seen. But we're only round 3 so far. So... to make the 8-man tourney seem longer. Well, you see, the funny thing about the Swiss format is it's generally going to take the exact same amount of time. Put some Subway Surfers on the screen. I'll do that to keep the Zoomers vaguely occupied. Give us some South Park. No, I'll have Family Guy clips in the background. Really poorly cropped and edited. Jinnen, oh my god! Real? The G-Balloon? Confirmed. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Hello. We're just waiting for the matches to finish up. We should be cracking on now any minute now. Let me just ping the players and make sure that there's nothing going on. Yo, Solnark. Welcome in. Hello, peoples. That baby turtle. Indeed, indeed. We're just doing our weekly PvP bracket. Swiss. 6 rounds of Swiss, followed up by a top 4 bracket. So it's quite weak this week, so we'll have some returning players on. How long since I said start? 5 minutes. There, 20 minutes is up. Oh, the match that they've finally just finished up. Liam took it in a 2-1. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, we are going to go with... Who haven't we had on yet? Oh, actually some super low latency. It's going to be Blue versus Kampfspiel. At Blue. At Kampfspiel. Both German gamers. All right. Let's go Conquer. Fight night. Round start. There we go. Okay. So let's go blue and blue. I think that would be not confusing. Kampf in red. Who is also a YouTuber, who's been very, very kind and uploaded a bunch of restreams of the tournament, which is pretty epic. Alright. Let's just wait for the players to come in. Let's go Garant. The first time Enda actually made me blue, I'll never make that same mistake, Blue Nectara. Never again, don't you worry. Welcome in, welcome in. What was G up to today, folks? What was his shenanigans? What was the tomfoolery? Alright, we have Blue Nectara in the world. Ja. I will ping both of you here at blue. Oh, no, that's both of them in. Alright, let's take a peek at the builds then, shall we? Let us take a peek. Looking at it here, we're going to have Blue Nectara rocking that whole axe as per usual. If you want to see the full rule set, !chow, or it'll be in the YouTube description. 58 strength on the side of blue, pretty standard halberd build. Is going to be jar locked by the looks of things. Versus Kampfspiel, who's rocking that Nagakiba off axe on that 56 strength. Dex, sorry, excuse me, my word. 37 endurance. Both sides are jar locked by the looks of things, so that should be pretty interesting. There we go. Ladies and gents, on a 3, 2, 1. Let's get this show on the road. Kaboom! We are going to have a little bit of a sip. Both players now going for the magic. The blue versus Blue Nectara on the side of Kampfspiel, going for that little bit of a backswing there. Is going to punish that. I forget how much the backswing is on a one-handed katana. Going for that unsheathed there. Kampfspiel going to try and try and keep up that damage. Goes to that jump R1 there. Is going to be punished, though. The standing R1 there in the halberd from the side of Blue Noctara. Little bit of footsies here in neutral as they're trying to find a way in. Looking at this here. Spiel seems to be trying to bait a response out of Blue, which is going to work. But that one-handed cat is going to be tankable by the 115 plus poise. As we are going to see that off-axe there to try and get the catch. But good roll out there from the side of Spiel, who is going to be going for that two-handed cat now to at least guarantee a break in one. Possibly a backswing. Resetting up as that is going to be a trade. The tier is gone into a standing R1 there from the side of Blue. The jump is going to get him away, though. A standing R1 there onto that off-axe there into the R2. Has to be careful about that poise count, especially even if he is getting that lower recovery on the toggle. He still has to be very, very careful. There's an empty jump there, but the off-axe comes in into a trade there, into another trade. 54 HP on the board, but Blue Noctara is going to go for the bestial roar, and it's going to hit, and that is going to be Blue Noctara taking the first stock versus Spiel. How much lap do you two have? It should be like sub 30. Either of you, assuming either of you can hear me. Apparently the trailers were shot in docked mode and were 30 FPS. Doesn't bode well for performance, but we'll see. 19? Jesus. Alright. That's pretty cool. Still within ghost hit range. Although technically ghost hits can happen at any latency. But yeah, that's low. Jesus. Alright. Both players are in. And a 3. And a 2. And a 1. Allez. Bolt out. Physics drinking. Greased up and ready to go. As we are going to see that standing R1 there. I'm possibly going for a running attack there. Maybe trying to bait something. I think what we're trying to see here from the side of Spiel, if I was to speculate on the idea behind this build, that is definitely not what the build's supposed to do. Looking at the L1 or 2. What he's really trying to do is go for a backswing, so he's set up to guarantee a poise break on the standing R1, and either the off-axe or on the two-handed cat. And two-handed cat can get that backswing. It's not as reliable as with Shamshir, but that range is obscene as we do see a whiff punishment. Run R2, jump R1 over the top, though, from the side of Spiel. Blue Noctara. I'm going to be a little bit more careful here. Look at this here. Some shenanigans. The grease is now gone. Are we going to see a reset of it? No, we don't. We do see, though, a little bit of damage as we see that schmicks interrupted by the off-axe mash. The way nature intended as a jump R2 comes out there from the side of Blue, who's looking for a tier skip. We are just on the cusp of it. I don't think it would actually work. The off-axe here is playing absolute puck here with the game plan here from Spiel, but will he be able to work his way around it? He does have the range advantage, so he can get the hit in, skedaddle out and not preemptively go for a run or two, but that's going to be the Hoarfrost Stomp coming out there. Possibly trying to set up for some more shenanigans run R2, though. Run R1 followed up, and then that extra little bit of recovery, then the handy tech dude coming out. Oh, but that backswing is vicious from the off-axe. Been caught in the corner against an off-axe is not what you want to be, as we see the backswing coming in full effect again, but we do see that rather clean run R2 actually managed to land there. Tries to go for another schmicks, but Blue Noctara just says, no sir, you are not allowed. Respect my priority. You see the CR1 coming out there. An off-axe backswing is not going to land this time from Blue. But there we go, the off-axe again. That's going to be a bit of a trade, and unfortunately on this HP, can't really afford it. Best thing I think now the Spiel can really do is keep up that, getting that regen, keep winning neutral, and just time out the tier. That is his best option, or get another small hit in, possibly with the off-axe. Get just on the cusp and then go for an unsheath to guarantee, and that's what he's going to set up for. Look at that. Into a trade! I fucking called it. There you go. Beautiful. Oh. Oh, I love it. Oh, I adore. J'adore. I love tier skips. Fucking called it. So he's using the cameo, which is one of the rare times that thing is in any way fucking useful. The cameo is giving him the extra damage for going into the unsheathed stance. He's holding it for a second and then going for the forced trade. Yep. Frickin' called it. 1-1 on the scorecard. That was nice. That was very nicely done. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Problem is, there's very little things you can actually hit with it. But either way, I digress. No. Enough nerding out. Both players are in. Ready to go. Ladies and gents. The honor bows. And on a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Away. Bolt out. Sorry, I'm still smiling after that last one. That was nice. That was... Oh. German net at its finest. As we do see now, both from resetting here. Off-axe swings are going to go a little bit astray. Nice scuttling away there from the side of Spiel, who is going to get off-axed for his troubles. Looking at that there, the off-axe again. A little bit of a block cancel. Not quite sure what the play was there. Might be trying to reset off of the CR1. But I think the CR1 would have been actually quite useful there. Force a trade and then maybe go for the off-axe. Just to try and keep priority. But I'm not so sure. Maybe he's worried that Blue's already on that Bull Goats, which he already is. Nice R2 there is going to land. It's going to be Blue Nectar still with a substantial health lead. More or less winning off of one interaction so far here, but Spiel's playing nice and cagey. Not sure what those presses are outside of the old end attack, which is of course R1 spam out of neutral and hope they walk into it. It works more often than most people would care to admit. But it is risky, as we are going to see that R2 not having that Phantom to fall back on. But the Halberd now is going to be very, very strafable, so he's going to have to be careful. Especially in, what, 19 ping? Had an opportunity there to hold on to priority, go for the off-axe, maybe go for a backswing as a means of guaranteeing that the toggle would have actually borne fruit. But that's going to be 1400 down to 582. Blue Nectar is probably going to set up here for the jump R2. Tier skip. But alas, it's not to be. The follow-up R1 is definitely not a bad idea. Goes for that nice little bit of a bestial roar. Oh, nice run R1 there comes out now from the side of Spiel. Has to be careful that Halberd is going to be clipped into a trade. 1000 HP to 238. Ooh. We see Spiel here switching over to that red feather. Could probably be better served going for the blue feather here because he can still tank an off-axe, I think. I would imagine he'd still be able to, but we're seeing that the cameo off again. But if he goes for that trade on that red feather, it's not going to matter much, and that is going to be Blue Nectar taking that fat W. And that is a 2-1 in the favor of Blue Nectar. Nicely done, gents. Nicely done. I could see the little cogs turning in Camp's mind, but I think he was just a little bit too quick off the draw. Yeah, 19 ping, very, very low lat there. That's impressively low lat is what that is. Rather nice. Okay, so we have our next match up. We've had Pancake, Spiel, Kisau, Conquer, Liam. So we're going to go Darcy versus Garant for this next one. Okay, there we go. Let me just check. Okay, it's going to be Garant versus Darcy. Let me just get all my shenanigans set up. Oh god, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Let me do this and just remember. Night something. I have to actually click back on. Eternal City Court. There we go. I don't know why night sprung to mind there. That was very silly. Very silly. Darcy versus Garant. Just change that there. Good fights, but yeah, there were really some really nice fights. Most of it is taken from Night Sacred Ground. Yeah, it checks out. Darcy. We're just waiting now on our other player. There we go. That was the mistake. I understand now. We're just waiting now for Garant to get in world. Yeah, we do these weekly. I currently don't have plans to set this up for PSN, but if enough people bother me, I'll most certainly will set up one for PSN. It just requires the player base pretty much to ask for it. Because I found when I did these for PlayStation, it was very hard to actually fill brackets, so... There'll be 164 for PSN as well. It's kind of required on there. Alright, well we have both of our players in. Garant in blue, Darcy. They're being so wholesome right now. Let's just take a look at the builds while they're being disgustingly adorable to each other. Where is it? There we go. Okay, cool. So, we have Garant who's going to be rocking the Waka... Ooh, we finally get... the off-rack. But it's going to be into Gugs, which I think this should be kind of interesting. Because the hyper armor on Gugs is actually going to be a problem for it, but it does have the dagger to fall back on. Excellent. And Darcy, of course, with her every weapon slot is not optional. It's definitely required. As we have Beast Claws main in the main hand, Misericord, and Danes in the offhand with the Gugs. Guts sword, real. Maybe it didn't rune arc, 2700. Depends if she's using a different, she's missing a couple of hundred. 300 HP there, thereabouts? Just under 300. Well, we'll see in a minute. Either way, we have both of our players in and ready to go. It's up to the players to make sure that they rune arc and stuff. We have a tournament, the rest of the tournament to crack on with. On a 3, on a 2, on a 1. Olé! As we have both players there looking at that there, the standing R1s coming out there from the side of Darcy. Garant, he's going to go for that, but the jumps, unfortunately, are going to come out. Two-handed, going for the two-handed Rock Sasha. There we have it. And the Sheeps! It's a bad day to try to trade into a Gugs, though, as Darcy is currently down by about 40 HP. An absolute scrap of a match so far! As we do see the little scoots away. Jump run R2 comes out there. Switching over. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do not try to tank the run R2. Yikes. We're actually getting extra points for that one. The R2s, that's going to cause some intergenerational trauma is what that's going to cause. Gee, Willikers. Yeah, that's a yikerinos for me, dog. Slippy, Twixer, thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate it. Galvacha, thank you as well. I didn't say thank you earlier on, but I do thank you. Epic. Alright, here we go. Okie dokie. We have both of our players in and ready to go. And on a 3, on a 2, on a 1. Allez! Cool beans. Do you have just a quick update on another match that is happening? Liam did beat Conquer in a 2-0 sweep. Go for that run R1 into the guard. The guard break. Into a bit of a lip into the jaw. Into jump run R1 into another bit of a roundhouse kick. The Giant's Hunt was a little bit cheeky, but setting up for the backstab bait there quite nicely. Let's see R1 that comes out now. Garant's going to have to reset himself, reorient. A very substantial life advantage. As a Thunderbolt of Lightning, very, very frightening me. Darcy going in there for that Gugs. Getting that extra little bit of recovery there going to Toggle. Very nice, very nice. Jump R1 coming through there. Standing R1 there, 1400 now, compared to that 156. We're basically within grounds here now where the Danes might actually get the kill. That's pretty rough. And the swap back over and it's the exact same as last time. G to Darcy. Why is chat, my restream chat, being weird? Give me a moment, chaps. And my stream's hasn't dropped or anything, has it? We should still be on. No, that's fine now. Okay, that was very strange. Oh well. Anyway, is it finals yet? No, we're about another hour and a half away from finals. We're just going through the pools right now. But yeah, good showing there from Darcy in a 2-0 sweep. Jesus. Not to be messed with. What's up, Polo Sport? How goes it, duder? I've been abducted by PC recently. I haven't been playing much on PlayStation. I haven't been streaming it much either. Just doing ladder and stuff like that off stream. In a very rare turn of events, I'm actually playing the video game. Frightening. Truly frightening. But yeah, those R2s were absolutely brutal, Darcy. Absolutely brutal. Yeah, looking at it here, we're still waiting on the Kisau Blue Nectara match and then the Pancake versus Spiel. The Run R2 does more damage than the JR2? Interesting. I wonder if that's intentional or not. 20 degrees Celsius today. Ooh. It's been warm over here. Brutal. Yeah, Darcy the goat. What's up, Engie? We miss you, Engie. You should join up to more of these. It's been so many weeks. American units here. Listen. It's the only. Wait, Darcy did beat Liam, didn't she? Darcy versus Blue. Oh my god, she did. That's... perfect temperature. You see, the Irish have a melting point polo sport of about 20 degrees. So, pretty brutal. Then we turn into sad potato puddles. It's rather tragic. Crucible Wings get... Did the Irish float on water only on whiskey? Well, that's more because the whiskey level kind of like evaporates. We're like a sponge with that shit. Alright, we have Pancake beating Spiel 2-0. It's not so much that we float, it's just the level... The level rests where we're at. It's rather frightening. Rather frightening. At an alarming rate as well. Alright, we're just waiting for this round to finish up. We are on wave 5 now, actually. Let's have a quick look at the standings, actually, while I'm waiting. Standings. So currently Darcy has only dropped one round, which I think was the first one. So she's currently first. Liam has only dropped one round. Making him second. Kisau has only dropped a round, making it 3. Although we're still waiting, making him third. And then Pancake is 4th with 2 losses and 3 wins. And Blue Noctara nipping at the heels with a 2-2 currently. Hello, Wella. Miss Wella of the Woods. Let's take a look at the group stages again and see if we have... Nope, we're still waiting on the Kisau match. And one shots the horse. The tech enjoyer. The dismounter. Can you put crucible wings on a dismounter by chance? That this is a very important question. I feel like no, because trust move, but you can put pavilion on it. That's pretty funny. Alright, what are we on now? We're on round 5, so we're moving on to round 6 in a moment of the pools. We're a little bit behind, folks, so I do apologise. I think one of the finest shitposts of early Elden Ring still has to be LBU's fucking montage. Looking for gruels? I'm waiting for this match to finish and then we'll be good to go. Not even Eisen copy paste? No, that wasn't an intentional shit post. It was just a shit, never mind actually. Let's move swiftly away from that one. No, the fucking Twin Blade is just unique. There isn't anything else, if I recall correctly. Interesting. Oh, dear Lord. Come on, lads. Let's finish our rounds. Let's go. Let's go. This is the one downside to Swiss, is that there's actually quite a lot of downtime, but the tournament moves about 15 times faster. Chow, what's up, Nyalter? They're plotting, they're scheming. Jesus Christ. Oh, Lord. Do 2 matches in one world, twice the fights to watch? Yeah, I could do that, but the problem is like you're interfering with other people. He's sorry. He's very sorry. Okay, come on, lads. What's the diagnosis here? Is there a question? No, they're just taking their time. Petrol. Are you sorry though, Wella? Are you really? I'm not sure you are. My bad for the name like this. Are you really sorry though, Amy? Are you? Letting the intrusive thoughts win today, as you ought to. Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus. Nice typo, nerd. Nice typo. Well played. Well played. Done? Okay. What's the score? Nice. So, it was Pancake taking it 2-0. With Kisau taking it 1-2. But Blue Noctera taking it 1-2 against Kisau. So, we have their last match. Alright, 2 players that I actually want to see because we've watched everyone else play. Let's actually just let me take a quick peek at the standings to decide which match here. Who's most likely not going to make it? Pancake, Conquer, Spiel, and Garant. Let's do Kisau versus Garant. Oh no, we found chili. It's all going here. So yeah, let's go Garant versus Kisau. I think that's where we go. Alright, cool. No, Garant was on last, but I would like to see him fight again today. The Darcy Pancake match could have been good, but there's a high likelihood both of them are going to make it in. So let's make sure that we get people who it's not looking likely will get into the top 4. I think that's fair. I think that is more than a fair thing. Okay. What's 2 T's? I actually misspelled that on the challenge. I feel rather dumb. Neat. Alright, we fixed it. Yeah. We'll have to commission Jaker to do some halftime shows or whatever. Although I don't want a repeat of the Miku incident. That was definitely horrifying. I think I selected the wrong source. And all of my backgrounds were just Miku. It was horrifying. And emotional. There we go. Alright, we do seem to have players in World. Garant, nice. Now we're just waiting for Kisau. I do want to keep an eye, because there's no one currently using off-rack in my rule set, so I'm kind of having to keep an eye on it, because I know what it's capable of. I am aware. I just want to see how it does in the rule set, although we haven't seen anyone do... we haven't seen anyone do... 200 TS with Mega Grease. The DLC greases. So there's a few things that haven't really been seen so far today, but hopefully the top 4 should rectify that to a degree. Guess that's Garant, and I believe... Decent Pro. There we go. Kisau in red, Garant in blue. Puddle tourney, yes. Hey. Nice. Alright, let's take a quick peek at the builds. Amazing. Amazing. 52 dex, 42 end, 60 vigor. Pretty standard. Everything else with the Sword of Night combination with... It's an interesting combination there. I forget if there's any particular combos that are particularly vicious on that one. And then the 60, fairly standard 60 strength build. 15 dex, 36 end. Kind of curious there he didn't go for the jar-locked version of this. I might have been able to leverage a little bit more damage. But either way, we have both of our players in, and at long last. On a 3, on a 2, on a 1. Allez! Bolt out. Players ready to go, as we do see the two-handed Great Katana doing its thing. Tries to go for the follow-up there, but unfortunately it's not to be. Standing R1, follow-up R1 is going to clip him. Swapping over now into that one-handed invasion. Goes for the full chain. Kisau having to be that little bit more careful. He's going to have to rely very heavily on his spacing in this matchup here. Oh. But as we see, the 115 poise making this a little bit less obnoxious. Going for that two-handed cat. Electing for the cat instead, and a little bit of a mash. Kisau might be in trouble here. Oh, but Garant is going to be caught in a little bit of damage there himself. The standing R1 managing to get away pretty much for free, giving Kisau a bit of a lead. No true combo off of the rack there by the looks of things, as Kisau is going to be caught out in his spacing there. Owie. That's a rough one. Goes to that running R1 there, which he has to be very, very cautious about. If he does that from neutral too many times, he's going to be in for a world of hurt. With that is 51 HP in the dream. And the Hoarfrost Stomp is going to be enough to put him away. GG's. Garant takes the first stock. Yeah, I am curious as to how the Great Cat is going to do here, just as a general rule. Because again, it's not a setup most people play on PC. Hopefully for the EU tourneys, Dimka will come out of retirement. Yeah, the plan next week so far is our weekly Friday tourney, of course. And then, of course, we'll go for a... Then, of course, we'll go for... I don't know what then... if it'll be cross-region EUNA. Oh, silly goober. Alright, ladies and gents, on a 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Bolt out. Physics drunk. Also that R2. Standing R1's coming out there. We do see a nice little bit of damage there from the side of Kisau. Oof. But look at that mash. Absolutely vicious mashing there from the side of Garant. Oh, aimed the wrong direction. Kisau currently has a substantial life lead, but that can change very quickly. As we do see that R2 actually managing to get that interrupt. Jump R2 comes out there from the side of Kisau. Regretting that roll in, but not going to be punished for at that time. Ooh, that's the tier gone. Really nice plays here from the side of Kisau. Almost a Kiwi from SAO. Spin slash there is a cute tech into the hyper armor there. Will guarantee a break. Oh, the double presses. Goes for that interrupt, managing to get it! And that's going to be Kisau taking it. Damn! That was impressive spacing there on the side of Kisau. Very, very nice play. God damn. God damn. Alright, both players are in and ready to go. On a 3. On a 2. On a 1. Allez! Nice getting that little bit of chip right off the bat there. The standing R1 comes out. Into that bit of a trade there. It is not going to be in the favour of Kisau, who's going to be cutting a little bit of a schmicks. Look at that, that R2 is going to come out. With the properties. Oof. Goes for that spin slash there just to get that interrupt. That is very nice. A nice little tech there. Goes for that run R1 into the R2s. 1300 to 1700. Oh, there's the dagger. That's going to be brutal. Oh my god, he tried to go for this. The punish. Did manage to get the bleed bolus off for free though, which is going to be brutal. Kisau there, weirdly enough, being able to tank that last one. Tried to set up for a spin slash there, but it's not going to matter. As the dagger gets the W. And that's going to be 2-1.
Hey!
GG's. Alright, and that is the end of the stream portion of the pools. Garant with 2. Kisau with 1. So as stands, we're just waiting for Darcy versus Pancake to finish up. But if I look at the standings, as it stands right now, it's Liam, Darcy, Blue Nectar, and Kisau with a place in the top 4. Blue Nectar, despite the rust, taking it 4-2, which is quite impressive. Well done. Should we stay rolling in this economy? Is the screen flickering for anyone else? It shouldn't be flickering for anyone. That is weird that it's doing that. Because it's not doing that for me. Huh. From New Zealand, not Australia. Yeah. You dumb fuck. You're welcome. I do it just for you. Let's just take one more peek at the builds again. Garant, of course, taking a 2-1. With the endurance of 42, strength of 15, dexterity 52, 60, vigor. On the side of Garant, on that off-rack, pretty standard off-rack build, I reckon. Versus Kisau, who was on the Mangouche, parrying dagger. Very pretty. My favourite. Alright. So as we're waiting for these last few matches to finish up. And as they have. So the finals. Liam taking a 2-0 versus Spiel. Darcy losing 1-2 against Pancake. Garant winning 2-1 against Kisau. And Conquer unable to conquer Blue Nectara. Unfork Bestie. So the standings. 5-1 is of course going to be a Liam. 4-2 is going to be Darcy. Pancake with a 4-2 as well. And Blue Nectara with a 4-2. So it's going to be Darcy. It's going to be Liam, Darcy, Pancake, and Blue Nectara in the finals. American education, am I right? Very much so. Alright, well I'm going to take a very quick break and get everything set up for the finals. So I'll talk to you all in a moment. Haha! Poggers. Right, hello everyone. We do have our players in. Does look as though it's going to be Blue Noctara versus Liam in this first match. It's going to be semi-finals, our first to 3. Should be an exciting one, no doubt. Let's just take a quick peek at the builds. Looking at it here, we are going to have that 58 strength build as before. 38 endurance, possibly most likely jar locked, versus the absolute war crime that is Sword of Light into double codeds. Very nice stuff indeed. Alright folks, let's crack on now with this the final bracket. Ladies and gents, on a 3, on a 2, on a 1, LA. And they're going to see that Sword of Light coming out now. We immediately get that nice little bit of a Bestial Roar punish. Doing that Terror there, sticking just out of range as that off-axe comes through. A little bit of a mash. Goes for that good roll out there from the side of Blue Noctara. So he's going to get that off-axe there into a standing R1. A little bit of a trade there on that CR1, which is going to be rough. The attempt to space out there, the jumping L1. A little bit unfort bestie. 1600 to 1600 HP. Standing R1 there, possibly trying to go for a running. The last a little bit too low, but managing to get down to 500 HP, 638 there. Blue Noctara stuck in the corner. Is he going to be able to get out? Seems not. 1100 still on the side of blue, but that is without tier. Liam still very much has his tier there. Is the standing R1 there to try and get that punish. The off-axe swing. Goes for a backswing, a little bit of a trade. Standing R1 there is not going to land, unfortunately. A considerable life advantage here in the favour of Liam, but that turnaround there into the run R1, evening it out to win it out in 100 HP, into the L1s in the corner for the off-axe! And the God Skin. Swaddling Cloth comes in, clutch. That is going to be Liam taking the first stock of this first 2-3. Go. No liver allowed. I don't think so. You may want to. There we go. All right. Ladies, both players are in. Let's crack on. In a 3, 2, 1. LA. Bolt out. Physics drunk. We see Liam put himself in the corner there. Immediately going to be interrupted there. Into a follow-up there just in case. But the buff is now active regardless. As Blue Noctara is going to be caught out mashing here into a standing R1. Tries to go for a trade again. You cannot afford to trade like that into these things. Curious skip there. It seems that it was on the side. Oof. Nice turn around there. Not entirely sure what that was about. Ineligible match? Well, it depends, because it could be just the connection to me that's the issue. Net was fine. I gave that one up. Net is all fine for me. Okay. So that was just a weirdness on my side then, by the looks of things. Oh, he's actually giving up. Lamau. Alright. Cool. Well, the finals will be a little bit quicker then. The Holy Shrouding is actually banned on this rule set. I don't think Liam is using it. fair enough. Cave up. Lamau. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. Let's get on the next match then. That is going to be... how do I even count this? Just a 1-0. Yeah. He wasn't using... Well, it's banned on the rule set. I don't even know if crack tier was allowed, but I copied PSN. Now it's going to be Darcy versus Pancakes. Yeah, it doesn't need it. IMO. Yeah, well, if it was usable, it would be absolutely horrific. Darcy. Alright. Cool. At Pancake. Needs. All right. All right. Is that pancakes? Magical pancakes. Yes, indeed. In blue. The blue pancakes. The blueberries. Yeah, I just think that it's a little bit much with the sort of light buff. Actually, let me read my rule set to actually make sure that... Are the cracked shrouded? No, it wasn't. It's technically not banned on the rule set, so that was actually a decent conditional to add in. No light Ash of War ban with Holy Shrouding cracked here. That would just push it a little bit too far, I think. That would get a little bit silly. Just a smidgen goofy. Goofy, silly, haha. Alright, we have Darcy coming in. Let's actually take a quick look at the builds then, as we have them in, although I assume nothing has changed. 54... strength on the side of Pancake, with love, I'll have you know, versus the 54 strength on the side. Woo, pretty much mirrored. Pretty much mirrored, with one extra dex in the favor of Darcy. No. 164. Oh, he has to change it. Give it a second. You might need to just leave and come back in. I've changed to 125. Let me just do a quick refresh then. Just leave world and come back in so it's a bit more accurate. Yeah. Just so we can actually get a good look at the builds. Disqualify this man now! Oh no, you didn't actually need to leave, Darcy. I meant Pancake, because he has to rejoin in order for the stats to change. Oh no. Sorry. Yeah, just everything where it has to just give it a second reset. We're all right. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, 125. All is in order. All right, into your corners now. We now finally get to look at a proper build. 60 vigor, 54 strength versus 54, 41. That one extra endurance is going to matter so much. I'm sure of it. The Eeper, I'm dying. I'm so tired. What? What happened? Net issues, 1 sec. Yeah, no worries, take your time. We're ahead of schedule, so despite being a little bit behind schedule, we are now back ahead of schedule again. I love random net issues on Elden Ring. It's my favorite. There we go. Pull up with the mundane build. Alright. The test. Alright, we're fixed by the looks of things. Epic, I think. They're so... Why? Stop being nice to each other. We need BM, we need grr, anger. Alright, either way, we have both players in, ready to go. Let's crack on. 3, 2, 1. Allez! The bolt is out. The physics have, in fact, been drunk. Darcy leaping in against that Haldag. Jump run R1 there comes out. Into another trade now. Very much going to be... Not quite in Darcy's favour, although with the health lead. Oh, nice turnaround there from Darcy. Goes in for that nice little bit of a quick poke. But alas, it is not to be in a run R2 for trying to force a trade into some nice free aim shenanigans. Tomfoolery even, as we do see the Divine Beast Stomp come through there. And an air coming out from the side of the halberd. Tries to go for the aim down there as well, just to get an extra little bit of range. Run R2, but the backstab out almost got the tier skip, but not quite. Pancake still here with tier, which is going to be pretty brutal. Darcy trying for a roll BS in that, which is dangerous. Good turnarounds there come out now from the side of Pancake, but that is the tier gone. Jump R2's here to try and finish this one out with a clean hit. Have to be careful though. Oh, nice. Nipping the heels there. Darcy on 215. Not going into Blue Feather though, which is going to be pretty rough. As we do see the Cestus. Spiked or not, I can't tell. The hop skip, but the jump was just a little bit too late, and that's going to be Pancake taking it with love. I will have you know, 1-0 in the favour of Pancake in this best of 3. Best of 5. Darcy's rolls are so good though. Darcy's a damn fine player. Plays the game in a very interesting way. I think it's cool. I like people who are experimenting with the toggles and the recovery cancel techs and stuff like that. I think it's really cool. Because movement techs, it's a slightly broken depending on the setup. But compared to other techs in other games, ER has an awful lot of movement tech, which I find very, very interesting. But either way, even wave dashes, I think, are kind of separate ER from a lot of other games. But the bolt is out, the physics drunk, the mist chilled. Goes for that nice little bit of a hit, quick poke. Tries to go for the aim up, but unfortunately it wasn't going to land, but a little bit of a trade there. Run R2 is actually going to land. Darcy going for that little bit of pressure. Whoa, that was a late roll. Oh, but he's going to be clipped. The tier is now gone. Tries to go for that roll catch, but alas, it's not to be. Into the run R2. Swapping between that one-handed and two-handed to get the extra little bit of range. Classic Darcy tomfoolery. Nicely done. 1-1 on the scorecard. Very nicely done. Alright, both players are in. On a 3, on a 2, on a 1. LA. But it's also weird to see a Gugs player not just turn into a ball of blending. Nice turnaround there, but just a little bit too late, but... Nice interrupt there. Comes out. Darcy going for the R2. It's not going to happen. Run R1 coming out from Pancake here in an empty jump into the standing R1, but she does have the poison proc in here. And goes to that run R2. It's going to land. Nice. Good punish on the bolus. The poison is missed. Empty jump comes through there. Goes to that CR1. Pancake there is going to be clipped. But the dagger... Into that interrupt there. Into the quick poke. Skedaddles out. Possibly low on Stam, but just allowed Pancake that space to get the bolus off for free, which is going to cost Darcy dearly, considering that's one of the very few punishment windows she has here, outside of just going for the trade and the run R1s from the halberd. The off-axe is now out on the side of Pancakes. Attempting to backswing with love, but that is going to be the quick poke actually managing to get the land there. Run R2 to finish it out. Darcy is on match point. Pancake risking it for the biscuit. Despite how magical those pancakes may be, it was not worth it. No, it's first to 3. Yep. Oh yeah. Okay. I thought you thought it was over. I was like, whew. You still have another couple of fights to do, sir. Alright, both players are in their corners. The sheer audacity of this man. On a 3, on a 2, on a 1. LA. Physicked up. Poisonous mist coming out now once more. Run R2 actually managing to land there. Nasty. The turnaround there comes out from Darcy into a nice trade. The backstep into the R2. Into a standing R1 here. Pancake's not quite sure what to do. Currently a 600 HP lead in the favour of Darcy. Turnaround comes out there into the R2. Oh, nice. Into another call out there. The dagger. Good free aims comes out here on the side of Darcy. Going to be rough on this lat now to try and go for those fishes. I could smell it. Darcy! Darcying! Pancake managing to get that. The bolus punish. Continuing to get that poison build up. But looking at that! The backstab grab. Tragical! Darcy takes it in a 3. 3 once around. Nice. Damn. The Gug's Goat. And as Wella has said, Gug stands for Girls Ultra Great Sword. Alright. Folks. It's that time where I have to edit the stream info. Finals. We're on the final 2 rounds. It's going to be third place match first. There are some very talented Gugs players out there as well, and they just usually don't compete all that much. I haven't seen Myth play in a hot minute. I think he rocks Gugs sometimes, doesn't he? Yeah, Sue is a pretty fucking good Gugs player as well. It's interesting to see in tourneys, yeah. It suits invasions a little bit better. Alright. Although, there was Gugs play in the last tourney as well. No longer semis, it is now finals. Hopefully I didn't change the name. Yeah, it's going to be a best of 5 as well, a first 3. Yeah, bronze match. Neat. We just actually checked that. Yeah, it's all set up and ready to go. Pogger. Excellent. I don't have to do anything then for that one. So it's going to be Pancake Voices. Blue Noctara. Who is not going to be blue this time, just to kerfuddle myself properly. At Pancake. You chaps up. There we go. Just 3. Cool. Alright. I don't know what you said, but I'm sure it sounded very cool in German. I'm sure it's epic. Alright. Just waiting now for Blue and Pancake to get in World. What does that even mean? Wasn't that too special? You're welcome. I do try. So there we have Pancake back in. So true, bestie. So true. On God. Yeah, just waiting now for Blue Knight Terror to get in World, assuming he hasn't molded himself to sleep. Hilariously not. Interesting. Give me a minute. Yeah, take your time. Yeah, we should be sub 3 hours, so I'm pretty content with how everything went. Alright, there we go. Blue who's in red. Excellent. We will just take a quick peek at the builds, obviously enough. As we usually do. It's going to be Pancake on that 50 strength. Blue Nectar on that 58 strength. So the battle of the strength builds, by the looks of things. 18 decks to get that very silly katana out there. And the long cat. Alright. We have both of our players in and ready. On a 3, on a 2, on a 1, and this first 3. Let's go. Physics are a go. I have found some issues fighting the katana with halberd. I don't know why. I think it's just I'm not used to fighting it. So I'll be curious to see how Blue does here into that off-back standing R1, backstep into the R1, but the Fisher into the spin slash, but Blue narrowly managing to get away, goes for that running R1 and is going to get that hit. There's a standing R1 there, but the goatskin swaddling cloth, godskin swaddling cloth procs just in time to give Blue extra little bit of that HP, continue that lead, but unfortunately the CR1's coming out here. Really nice aggression there from the side of Pancake, but it's not to be as the standing R1 comes out now once more. Blue still has tier and a 797 HP and is doing quite well there with that off axe. Looking at those swings there from Kilo, goes to that CR1 into that trade. Jump in off of that aggression as well. Both sides now without tier. Oh, that is a nasty trade. Blue's life lead steadily disappearing as a run R1 comes out there, which is not going to be great. Oh, the spin slash! Spin to win. Pancake with a 1-0 thus far. Yeah, Pancake's cat is quite nice. I've been having a lot of fun playing his ladder cat. One might say it's the cat's meow. Oh, dear God. End me. We have both of our players in. Ready to go. Round 2 at a 1-0 for Pancakes. Bolt out. Physics being drunk. Blue here struggling a little bit. He is going to be CR1 there, but manages to get that interrupted. That standing R1 there just to catch. Nice pressure here. The fish of the century here is the spin slash to wake up. Managing to get that catch. Benatara going to whiff that there. Pancake, exactly what Pancake is looking for. Into the CR1. Beautiful little string there. Getting that really nice. Held onto that R2 just a little bit too long as the jump over the top there. Blue Noctara is not looking so hot right now. Uh-oh. Run R2 there. Gonna whiff. Jump R1 over the top. Into a spin slash. Screams of defiance coming out from Blue Noctara though. 1400 to 118 HP. Very much going to be in the favor of Pancake, who's swapping over to those fists. Getting that 2-0 thus far. Beautiful pressure there from the side of Pancake. All right. With both of our players in with the bows. Sportsmanship on fleek. Bestie. Jesus Christ. Alright, go! Fight! Fight, please! Please fight! Thank you, thank you, thank you. There we go. I see that CR1 coming out there into the standing R1 to follow up, but alas, it is not to be. Going for that running attack there into the CR1. Goes to that, the little stutter step out there once more. Blue Noctara. Isn't the light? That is a nasty fish. Holy. Spin Slash is going to catch to the end of it there as well into that standing R1 to follow down. CR1 comes out, run R2. Goes for that standing R1. Screams, not going to hit. The off-axe getting that interrupted into the backswing into the standing R1 to catch. But jumps in behind. Leaps and bounds. Ahead in HP there as Blue Nectar is not going down without a fight as that Godskin Swaddling Cloth is going to come in clutch. Give him that extra little bit of HP, but he's not coming out of that exchange unscathed. The off-axe there, a little bit of a pivot. 900 HP. It is going to be Pancake's match to lose here. 903. Oh, the trade, 112 HP to 677. The jump R2 comes out into the standing R1. Tear gone. The clutch on display here from the side of Blue Noctara. But alas, 'twas not gonna be. Oof. Nicely done, folks. Pancakes takes the 3rd place. Blue Noctara coming out of retirement. And getting very, very far considering the rust. Nicely done. 3-0 sweep in the favour of Pancakes with love, I will have you know. And there we have it. Now we are on to the finals. Alright. Alright, let me just get all my stuff set up, folks, for another wonderful weekly done. Oh, there's Liam. Oh. What the fuck is this? Huh? Which one of you fuckers is it? What's the name? What? What the fuck? Get the fuck out of my world. Jesus Christ. Which of you fuckers is it? That was a good meme. That was a good meme. Yeah, I wonder who it is, Amy. I wonder. Yeah. That was a good bit. A good bit. Jesus Christ. Alright. Nicely done. Good shitpost. Alright. Sick. Oh dear. Let me turn off my shenanigans. Yeah, I wonder, V. I dare say rather spiffing, madam. Rather spiffing. Alright, let me get my shit set up. It's gonna be Liam in blue. Versus Darcy. Oh dear. Alright. Alright, cool beans. So we have first to 7, which I need to find here, which I have found. Wowzers. And we're on the finals. First to 4. Let's just take a quick peek at the builds before we crack on, and I need to make sure I have the right scene on, and so I do. Looking at this here, we have the 59 Faith here on the side of Liam. Darcy trying again, a repeat of last week. Yeah, 54 strength, 41 endurance, 14 dexterity versus the 59 Faith. 32 end. 59 Faith, sorry. 32 end, 60 vigor. Wow. All very standard stuff. Nothing we haven't seen before. The Gugs versus the Piss. And they're the right colour and everything. And ladies and gents, on a 3, 2, 1. Looking at that there, Thunderbolt of Lightning, very, very frightening. Versus the Power of God and Anime on the side of Liam. Tries to go for these presses here. Liam is going to walk into that. Into the backstep R2s. Getting some really good damage off on them. Trying to stop those jumps, which is quite nice, I would dare say. But unfortunately, Darcy's taken a lot of damage here into that CR1. Managing to get that hit there. 1400. Oh. Oh. Oh! Uh-oh! That is weird. Very strange. It's up to the players whether or not they want it to be a reset. Rules as written would say DCs and stuff like that count as a loss, but I'm happy with the reset if the players are. No reset? Okay, come. Alright. Oh, just reset. Okay, he said. So a reset round it is. Okay, cool beans. Alright. We have both players in. Let's try this in round 1. Glug, 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 glug. We're in that here. We are going to see that nice bit of pressure to start off. Goes for that CR1 now once more. Trying to go for that other one. Trying to get that nice trade there. Nice quick poke as well. Running R1, managing to land into a free aimed R1, which didn't land, unfortunately. That run R2 comes out there. We do see the hop, skips, and jumps. As we see now, the hop, skip, and jump bear fruit. Darcy is narrowly ahead now. Managing to get the burger flip into a run R1. Tries to get the Damn is right. Standing R1 there, follow up. The Godskin there coming in clutch. Both sides are now pretty much even. Going for that nice little bit of a kick. Throwing R1, comes back out. Not able to punish that. Liam is currently well behind Darcy in this round. Good reset there. Possibly tried to go for the run. Going for a run R2 again to try and finish this one out. Into Darcy taking the first stock. 1-0 so far. What a round. Holy moly. What the hell? This is why I love Who Does That players. This is why I love them. You get stuff like this. It's absolutely phenomenal. And it works. Sometimes in the right hands at the right time. Either way, we have both of our players in 1-0 in the favour of Darcy. So what happened before, just as an FYI, was Darcy was disconnected for pretty much no reason. So we agreed on a reset. But either way, we have both of our players in. And go! Allez! Sticking. Going for the Crucible. Not landing. Going for that run R2, but Darcy's going to take a little bit of damage there. Good roll out there comes out on the side of Liam. A run R1 is unfortunately not going to matter. Good roll out there once more, and the Crucible once more into a standing R1 there, managing to get into the schmicks. Unfortunately, the bunny hops just a little bit too strong as Liam takes a considerable portion of Darcy's health bar there. Immediately tally swaps over, goes for that run R2 into the follow-up R1, aiming it just so the latest part of the hitbox had a chance of connecting there, but unfortunately not going to matter as we do see that interrupt. 79 HP in a dream. Goes for that run R2. The backstab grab. Tragical. Good rollout now from Darcy once more. 1900 to 79. And unfortunately, it's going to be a 1-1. 1-1 on the score sheet right now. Name is left. What is going on? Huh. Now Liam's been kicked, I think. Yeah, that's weird. I'm not sure what Seamless is doing today. There's no maintenance or anything like that. Now, I think this is a Seamless problem rather than ER. This has very little to do with Elden Ring. So that's kind of interesting. Seamless servers are dying for real. Yeah, I kind of suspected. It was just weird. Try rejoining, Liam. If not, we'll find a new password. It should be annoying to have to do mid-set. We haven't had problems with Seamless or anything like that in any other weeklies. But I'm just not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if other people have had problems today with them Seamless being weird, but Steam keeps disconnecting. I panicked there and I thought that said stream. I thought I was the laggard, but I'm never the laggard. That is true. That is a true statement. EU never lags. You've been getting it today as well? Hmm. Because Dan doesn't want to work today? Curious. Hmm. I'm going to go for a very quick break then. So I'll be back in a minute. Alright, we're back. God damn. Jesus. I'm still super confused as to what just happened there, other than Steam deciding that it didn't want to work anymore. But it's back for now. I'll keep an eye in case it drops again. I'm gonna probably have to restart some of my software, so it'll just take a minute. Again, super sorry. But this is the downside to using slightly jank community-made software and stuff. But why want that? Bruh. What is going on? Okay, there we go. Alright. The world is open. Go after 20. Let me restart this cheat engine table and see if it works. Close this. Wait. Give me a moment, folks. Dependencies. Hosts. Bro, why don't you want to work? That does not want to work. Why not? Sorry, I don't know why I'm having issues right now with my scripts and stuff.
Hey.
What? It's 2-1, yeah, it is 2-1 in the favour of Liam. I'm going to use some slightly more jank stuff and see if that'll work, and we'll just get this tournament done. I don't know why stuff is refusing to work for me right now, and I cannot be arsed to try and fix it. So hopefully this doesn't crash the game. It did not. Excellent. And then with the software, in case of troubleshoot, could you do me a favor and just change talismans and stuff? Okay, it's working. Thank God. Alright. Cool. That's fantastic. Appreciate you all. So, this is a little bit annoying. Cool. Alright, we'll be okay. 2-1 in the favour of Liam. Let's crack on. Again, I don't know why none of this stuff is working. Alright, cool beans. So, we are going to have Darcy in red, Liam in blue. Goes for that JL1 there. It is not going to land, unfortunately, in the JL1. To follow up, Darcy getting some decent damage off there into a trade. Doing some decent work here. Looking at this here, Darcy is currently up by about 300 HP in the difference. Darcy going for that swing there. An empty jump comes out now once more into the back swing that comes out. Darcy trying to get that catch, but alas, it is not to be. Another empty jump there from the side of Liam there. That's a trade, if ever there was one. Looking at the CR1 comes out. Empty jump there by the side of Liam. Both players having to play this pretty cautiously. Oops, that is definitely not what I wanted to do. There we go. As we are now going to see Darcy try to go for that. The R2 comes out. It is not to land, though. Liam definitely dodging that bestial roar there. Another bestial roar comes out there from the side of Darcy into a nice tear pop. The R2 comes out, but unfortunately not able to get the angle right on that. An empty jump once more. Darcy still with that tier. Run R2. Run R2s are hitting like a truck at the moment. Definitely an interesting tech, especially against the airs that are coming off on the side of Liam. Again, this here, the standing R1. A nice trade there. Backswing comes out. Run R2 once more. Darcy's very low. Forcing some runouts there from the side of Liam. Run R2 now once more into Liam taking the stock. GG's. Unfortunately, we're not going to be very technical right now. Alright. 3. 3-1. No, because I have to do it this way, because the game is cringe. Alright. There we go. Unfortunately, we have to do it this way, folks, for the end of this, because none of this stuff is working, and I want to get this show on the road. So, as we see here, we are going to get an accidental L2 from Codeds. A little bit presumptuous. Run R2 comes out there from the side of Darcy once more, who is going to be clipped for a little bit of damage. Run R2 now once more from Darcy. Empty jumps there from the side of Liam. Goes for that poison bolus, which is going to be very, very useful. Goes for that trade. Nice. Darcy managing to get some wins off of that interaction. 1100 to 1200, but that is very quickly changing. Into that L1, getting the anti-air. Swapping over, goes for that run R2 now once more. Darcy aiming down there to try and get extra range. Liam not wanting to trade, even with that substantial life advantage with the tier. R2 into the standing R1 though, not going to land. Good roll there from the side of Liam. Darcy taking another little bit of damage, 197. Managing to get that. Nice swap over to get the kick there, almost getting the hit into. Good roll from Darcy though. Could have gone for backswing, but unfortunately, 'twas not to be. That is going to be Liam taking the W today. GG's. And again on that Codeds Sword of Light build, which we can get a look at right here. Unfortunately, all the software decided to just not work. So I do apologize for the slightly anticlimactic finals. But looking at it here, we do see the bows, the honor bows coming out here. Looking at that, the 32 endurance, 59 faith on the side of Liam. And then Darcy rocking that 54 strength. 14 dex. 41 endurance with 60 vigor. Nicely done. Me versus Enda. You want to go then, love? You want to go? Alright then. Alright then. I forgot Sword of Light existed in that last round. Understandable. Come on then, V. Put him up. Put him up, Suwu. On my obviously very OP build that I haven't changed the tallies. Oh my god, what are my tallies right now? Holy shit. Very fun, everyone. Alright. My Nellis 2.0 cosplay. If you want in, you know the password. I would never leak it for memes. I would never in a million years. Let's do a best of 3 because I'm fucking exhausted, by the way. Suwu. Those who blow? What the fuck is wrong with you? You are talking down to some of the most powerful stream snipers ever known to man. Damn, the point down. The point down. Alright, let me turn on my hood so I can actually see what's going on. This is probably going to look very garbage. Oh. Oh, can you hit me, by the way? And just do a first to 3. Oh, you can't. That's really funny. How do I stop this from happening now? Wait. Because I had to turn off CE, so all the scripts are still on. So if I leave, maybe if I leave world? I'm sorry, Suwu. And I can't leave game. Oh my god. Sorry. Give me a moment. I actually don't think I can fix this. Fuck it. I'll do it next time. Next time, Suwu. Unless this works. It's over. I'm actually a confirmed cheater. It's terrible. Why wouldn't the host stuff work? Yeah, it's still not working. That's so annoying. Because I left it on, probably. Alright, we'll get the show match another time. Folks, it's been absolutely phenomenal. Congratulations to Darcy, to Liam, and to Pancakes. And of course, to everyone who made it to the tournament. Spiel, as ever. Homie, absolute legend. What else was there? I'm so tired right now. Spiel, Blue Nectara. I actually need to look at the challenge. I'm so stupid. Here. Blip, 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 blip. Blue Nectara, Garant, Conquer, Spiel, Darcy, Kisau, Liam, and Pancake. You were all amazing. Can we have a Saturday night showdown? I'll be doing an EU-NA only tournament next week to test out Swiss for money matches with a top 8 bracket. So, assuming I'm free next Saturday, that'll be when that's happening. So, probably put $100 on it and see what happens. And I'll have to clean up my rule set a small bit as well. So yeah, next Saturday, be around for then. And obviously, next Friday, we'll have our weekly. I will see you all then, folks. I'm going to go harass some people and pass out. I love you all. Let's find someplace cozy to send you all, though. Who's live that I don't find obnoxious? Let's get a mug. He's a nice duder. Montage is on, yeah, but I always raid Monty. Let's raid someone new, someone different. Let's go to Mug. Mug's a nice dude. All right, love and appreciate you all. Bye bye.